Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dearborn Public School Regular Board Meeting. It's Monday, July 27th, and we call the meeting to order. It's 7:02. Roll call, please.
Trustee Bazzi.
Here.
Trustee D'Ambrosio is not here. Trustee Mozeb.
Here.
Trustee Petlichkov.
Here.
Trustee Sobh.
Here.
Trustee Zahar here. President Al-Jahmi.
Here. Well, before we start, Trustee Zahar, I would like to us to do a prayer for Trustee D'Ambrosio is not here today, and his granddaughter is really sick. So if we could do a moment of prayer for her recovery. Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. The Dearborn Public Schools Cabinet members will lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
They look so excited.
Yeah.
He was like, did we run out of students?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. No certificates for them?
Pictures, certificates, yeah.
Next item.
Next item is the superintendent's update.
Okay, excellent. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much. Historic day for me, my first board meeting. So the very first agenda item is we have no retirements this month, so that's a wonderful thing. People are excited to be in the Dearborn Public School system. Now, with that said, I would like to just open up with a few words. Good evening, President Al-Jahmi, members of the Board of Education, colleagues, students, families, and members of our Dearborn Public Schools community. It is truly an honor to stand before you this evening as Superintendent of Dearborn Public Schools. Over the past 20 years, I've had the privilege of serving this district in a variety of roles, from teacher to administrator to executive director, and now superintendent. Those experiences have allowed me to witness firsthand the incredible dedication of our employees, the resilience and potential of our students, and the unwavering support of our families and community. To now serve as superintendent is both the greatest honor of my professional career and a responsibility that I do not take lightly. During my first month, I have intentionally focused on listening before leading. I have spent time meeting with students, employees, families, community members, and our Board of Education. Not simply to hear different perspectives, but to better understand what makes Dearborn Public Schools exceptional and where we have opportunities to become even stronger. One thing has become clear. This community believes in its public school system. People care deeply about our students, our employees, and the future of the district. That belief is inspiring, and it reminds us that our responsibility is not simply to preserve excellence, but to continue to build on it. As we move forward together, my commitment is to lead with integrity, transparency, collaboration, and accountability. I want to continue building strong relationships, supporting our employees, and ensuring that every decision we make is grounded with one simple question: how does this improve opportunities and outcomes for our students? With that, I'd like to provide you all with a brief update on my first 27 days as superintendent. As I mentioned with you previously, over the past month, I've had the opportunity to meet with students, employees, administrators, family and community partners, and district leaders throughout our organization. Those conversations have been invaluable. They have reinforced our many strengths while helping identify opportunities to improve how we support our students and serve our students. I sincerely appreciate everyone who has taken the time to share their ideas, experiences, and perspectives. Those conversations will continue because I believe listening is an essential part of leadership. One of our first priorities has been evaluating our organizational structure to ensure it best supports teaching and learning across the district. As part of that work, we transitioned away from the feeder track model and aligned our schools with 2 deputy superintendents. Ms. Lamise Spoor will oversee our elementary schools, while Mrs. Deanna Shaheen will oversee our secondary schools. This structure strengthens collaboration, creates greater instructional coherence, reduces unnecessary silos, and provides more consistent support to every school across our district. We also have begun redesigning our cabinet structure to better align our work across the departments. Our exception is simple. Departments should work collaboratively, communicate openly, use data to inform decision-making, and remain focused on continuous improvement. When we work together toward common goals, we are better positioned to support our schools, our employees, and ultimately our students. During the past month, we have successfully interviewed for and filled several important positions. At the same time, we have carefully evaluated organizational needs across the district by redesigning some positions and consolidating positions where appropriate. These decisions are intended to improve efficiency while continuing to provide high-quality support to our schools. While we have accomplished a great deal during the first few weeks, this is only the beginning. We have an outstanding district with exceptional students, dedicated employees, supportive families, and a community that believes in public education. I'm excited about what lies ahead because I know what we can accomplish when we work together with a shared purpose. As we move forward, I want our work to be guided by a simple belief. Students first is more than a slogan. It is the standard by which we will measure every decision we make, every initiative we pursue, every resource we invest, and every conversation we should help create greater opportunities for our students to learn, grow, and succeed. I look forward to continuing this work alongside our Board of Education, our employees, our families, and our community as we build upon the proud tradition and excellence that defines Dearborn Public Schools. Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to transition over to our Summer Discovery Works program, which is our robust summer program that we offer to all of our K-8 students here in the district.
Could I?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Say something? I do want to say, you know, with regard to the 27 days that you mentioned, I do appreciate the collaboration that you have provided us, and I am excited to work with you. The collaboration has been amazing, and I look forward to doing more of that.
Thank you, President Al-Jahmi. That means a lot, and I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the amazing team. You know, we're a little short-staffed right now in central office due to some of the retirements. I know some of the positions are going to hopefully be filled tonight, but how the entire cabinet has stepped up has been absolutely inspiring to me. Truly makes you want to work harder. So for those of you sitting here today, I notice what you're doing. I see the hard work each and every single day, and thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate it. Now, Summer Discovery. Okay, this year, our Summer Discovery Works program began on June 29th, and it'll run until July 31st. This summer initiative is designed to ensure our students return in the fall ready to excel by using a robust mix of academic power and vibrant enrichment. We currently have 3,676 students enrolled in 19 sites across the district. This program is free for families and is funded by the United Way for Southeastern Michigan and the Balmer Group. Free breakfast and lunch is available to all our students. To ensure rigorous and continuous learning, incoming kindergartners are following Wayne County RESA's Lit Lab curriculum, and all incoming 1st and 8th graders are following the Lavinia Rise curriculum for math and English language arts. Additionally, the program includes hands-on STEM and innovative activities, life skills, field trips, SFE cooking demonstrations, and staying active with hype coaches. Special thank you to Ms. Chris Meserol, who is coordinating and leading the program. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are sick of probably hearing me speak, so we're going to turn it over to the video and watch a real cool video on our summer program this year. All right, outstanding job to our entire staff and school community for running such a wonderful program in the summer. Now, I'll be remiss if we didn't talk about soccer in July of 2026. Today, we have some special guests with us that we would love to honor that come from the Detroit City Football Club. Tonight, we would like to congratulate our Dearborn Public School students and recent graduates who are on the DCFC team that won the 2026 U.S. Youth Soccer National President's Cup Championship. It's a big deal. The Detroit City Football Club is a Metro Detroit team. This year, their U19 elite team had many students from all of our high schools play on the team. Soccer Nasser, who is the social responsibility technician over at Salina, and team members will introduce the players along with the DCFC coach. So if you guys would approach the podium, please. Did the boys want to come up here with you, or are you going to introduce them one at a time? It's up to you, yeah.
No.
Alright, so I'll start. Okay, it's fine. Assalamu alaikum and hello to everyone. I'll start off by saying that we did start off in Michigan playing in Saginaw, where we started off with a loss in the tournament and ended it off with a win. And after that, we went to Indiana for regionals, where we swept everyone and didn't lose a game, won the regional championship. And then after that, went to Kansas. We played hard. The group of guys that I wish I could play more with, but they being our last ride, I think we finished it off with a win, so can't be more happy. We'll start off with Ali Berman. He was a recent graduate from Etzel Ford. After that, we'll go Hadi Saad. He went to Fortson High School, class of 2025, as well as Ali Muslim Al-Ahwas, Etzel Ford High School, class of 2025. Harat Nasser, class of 2026. And me, Sagar Nasser, class of 25, Etzel Ford High School. The rest should be showing up, but everybody got stuff to do, so I want to thank you guys for having us here. It's pretty big to be here, so very thankful for the opportunity. So. And then,
Is that all the players?
and then we would ask if we could take a photo.
We'll have a few players.
Yeah.
For sure. Then we would ask if we could take a photo with all of you guys.
Yeah, we
Can
would
finish
absolutely love to.
introducing everybody?
Yeah.
For sure. Do you want to wait until they get here, or?
No.
There's
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it was just
Some of the players that you had.
Oh, that's okay. We
outside.
love everybody in
Yeah.
here.
Of course.
yeah.
Feel left out.
For sure.
That's what I was
I think we
asking.
have Quinn from Gabriel Richard, JJ from Gabriel Richard, Brad from Allen Park Cabrini, Manny from Northville, and I think that's it.
So how do you guys all come together? Are these tryouts? Do you just walk in one day and say, hey, I want to try out for this football team, or?
So one of our assistant coaches, his name is Isa Shajra. He graduated from Fortson High School, class of 2024, and he joined DCFC not that far back, about a year ago. And he was like, you know what? Why don't we make one more run? I have the people and I have everything. I just need the players. So he called the people he knows from Dearborn, which would be our crew, and we got to meet up with Quinn, JJ, and all the boys, and we bonded right away.
Great. Well, congratulations on your success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course.
I believe they'd like to take a picture.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, congratulations again, great job. Thank you guys for also allowing us to share this moment with you. And finally, for my updates, at our last June 22nd board meeting, the board voted to approve adding the school improvement bond proposition to the November 3rd election ballot. Ms. Katie Hetrick, our interim communications director, will give us an update on the bond.
Hello, good evening, Board President, Trustees. We've started the informational campaign. As you know, we'd planned to have a press conference a couple weeks ago, but the weather did not cooperate and we didn't want to bring people out in toxic air. So we've moved that back now to next week. We opted to reschedule after the August election because people were getting confused about when it was going to be on the ballot, and everyone who cares about elections right now is looking at the primary. So that'll be next week. We're going to have it in one of our schools. It's not a public event, so we won't discuss that too much. But we want to show off some of the infrastructure needs in our building. There are parts of our building people never see, like we have 2 boilers that are more than 50 years old and a number of them that are 30 to 40 years old. So we want to show off some of that. Our consultants are also working together to come up with individualized information for each school. So we can put that on each school's website and on the district website, so people have all of that information. And of course, the usual work's going on to create the postcards and the graphics and all those kinds of things that we will also be putting out. I'm betting some of you have questions for me.
Trustee Petlicoff?
Yes.
One thing that I think we will hear as information comes up on these websites is how can they contact us if they have a concern or something they want us to consider
Yes.
in the design phase, and how can we make sure that they have an opportunity to still weigh in, even if it's just so that we know what the community is feeling.
Yes, there has been discussion of creating a dedicated email account. We haven't quite got that far yet, but that is on our to-do list as well.
Very good.
I would ask, and I think it was brought up during one of our meetings, is the frequently asked questions.
Yes.
I think there's common questions across, whether it's the square footage and so on, that we need to be able to answer those questions proactively.
Okay.
And I did hear that we're going to do that, but that is
Yes.
a good thing to be able
Yes.
to.
And if you have things you would like to see added to the frequently asked questions, please reach out to me. I know I have 3 or 4 to work on with our with Plant Moran Real Point to get some more details.
Thank you. Trustee Bazzi?
Kind of piggybacking on that, I know that we had talked about our communication strategy, like on social media and stuff. Some of those FAQs, we talked about putting videos together where we answer
Yes.
1 or 2 questions in a series,
Yes,
so that we're proactive in that way too. That's still part of the plan, correct?
that's still part of the plan, yes.
Okay.
Going easy on me tonight.
Yeah. I just want to say one final thing. Ms. Hetrick's done a phenomenal job with communications. She's only 27 days to, or maybe a little bit longer than that, but really 27 days too, and she's picked up very fast and is really an encyclopedia for our bond, so we appreciate that greatly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for so much for scheduling those meetings for the board to keep us updated. Those are very effective and helpful to all of us, because we're also, we have a lot of questions too.
You have a lot of questions too, and a lot of good insight, and I know you're getting questions from the community, so it
Yes.
helps us to understand what people want to know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm all set.
Next item.
Next item is recognition and acknowledgements, starting with commendations.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen from the board. Superintendent Bazzi. I'll be reading the commendations tonight. And first up, commendations to the following staff for the Discover Works program: Christina Messerall, Madi Casada, and Mela Harp. All have worked tirelessly with rostering, logistics, and program coordination this summer. Sue Broderick, Denise Zilch, and Catherine Awada from Computer Services. They have all helped schedule students and staff to make the necessary changes to keep up with the demand with the rising enrollment. Next up, we have Chris Kenneberg, Hyder El Shabani, Wasim Hamoud, Norm Cross, Shane Robertson, Cheryl Mattern, and Jackie McManus, along with Sage Belrose and Charles Stevenson, and Nimer Zar and Sarah Saeed from the Assessment Department. They all helped to facilitate the curriculum materials and resources that were essential to the success for the Summer Discovery Works program. And last in this category, but not least, Bob Addy, who assisted with overseeing all the above like that. There is so much more that this person wrote about Bob Addy, but we don't have a lot of time today.
I was wondering why he was so eager to read these today. How we know?
Guilty. With the help of all the staff that were involved, our program was able to be successful, and we provided summer learning for students this summer. We also have commendations to the early child care supervisor, Ida Talab, and parent liaison, Nadia Berry, whose program achieved demonstrating quality, which is the highest quality level, during a recent on-site observation. The program offers Kids Club, before and after school childcare, paid developmental preschool, and free GSRP preschool. Their hard work and dedication have provided care and education to the children and families they serve. We also have commendations to Nicole Beckham from HR. She's the HR Compliance Manager, for renewing the Human Resources Specialist certification. Under the Michigan School of Business Voluntary Certification Program, the district congratulates Nicole on her commitment to professional development through 2031. Other commendations go to Lisa Book, Transportation Supervisor, for renewing the Certified Transportation Director certification. Under Michigan School of Business Voluntary Certification Program, the district congratulates Lisa on her commitment to professional development through the year 2031. From high school, commendations go to Hiba Gasura of Fortson High School. She has been accepted as a member of the Michigan Department of Education Student Advisory Council for the 2026-2027 school year. In elementary, commendations to the summer school secretary, Nuria Ahmed, and the staff of Salina Elementary for their dedication to Dearborn schools. When the schools were closed due to the bad air quality on Friday, July 17th, she and others volunteered to go to Salina Elementary to make sure that kids did not arrive during the closure. Additionally, congratulations to Nuria on completing her teaching degree. After 26 years as a secretary, she will continue her hard work and dedication as a kindergarten teacher this fall. Finally, commendations to the Lindbergh Elementary 5th grader, Veda Jafer, on winning second place at the state level for the Smoky Bear and Woodsy Owl Youth Poster Contest. Thank you to the Dearborn Garden Club for sponsoring this event. And those are our commendations today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Next item is acknowledgement of donations.
For a minute. We have 2 donations today that we'd like to acknowledge. The first, an in-kind donation, was made from the Catalyst Leadership Circle Fellowship at the University of Michigan to study the Ecological Sound and Climate Wall project at Salina. The project aims to improve environmental health outcomes, reduce noise pollution, mitigate stormwater, to reduce flooding and strengthen the community resilience. This work is funded by the Michigan Department of Education, Great Lakes and Energy, EAGLE, and administered through the University of Michigan Center for Empowering Communities as part of EAGLE's Catalyst Community Program. A second donation is a donation in the amount of $1,000, which was made to the class of music teacher Mr. Ephraim Karamaris at Hague Elementary to be used for the music program during the 2026-2027 school year. Those are our donations for tonight.
Thank you.
Everyone. Thanks.
Next item is approval of minutes. Approval of minutes of the following Dearborn Board of Education meeting, Policy Committee meeting, June 22nd, 2026, Board Report 26-01. Regular P-12 meeting, June 22nd, 2026, Board Report 26-02. I'm looking for someone to make any necessary corrections and move approval of these minutes.
So moved.
All right, need a second?
I'll support.
Okay. So we have a motion and support. Any correction to the minute or changes? I hear none. Hear none. Is there any objection to attach any unanimous roll call vote to the motion? Seeing none, unanimous roll call is attached. The motion carries and the minutes are approved.
Next item is union leadership commentary. It doesn't look like we have any union representatives here tonight. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Next item is special reports. Oh, sorry, no special reports. Next item is citizen participation. We do not have any blue cards today.
No.
Okay, next item is action items. Are there any agenda items on this agenda which board members or the superintendent? Are there any action items, any agenda items on this agenda which board members or the superintendent wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we'll exclude these from the motion below. So I'm looking for somebody to make a motion to approve all of the action items on this agenda with the exception of any items any items anybody would like to remove. So,
Just keep in mind, there's addendums to the board. To
Yes.
the action items. Just pointing that out. Go ahead, trustees.
so move that action items numbered, I'm looking for someone to move that action items numbered 1 through 24 be approved as recommended in this agenda unless there's any exceptions.
So moved.
Okay, need a support or second? Trustee Sobh has supported. Any discussion, any debate? Discussion. Seeing none, then roll call.
Trustee Bazzi,
Yes.
trustee Mazeb,
Yes.
trustee Pelichkov,
Yes.
trustee Sobh,
Yes.
trustee Zahar, yes. President Al-Jahmi.
Yes. I know we want to call in the,
Well, that's a congratulations to some of our special guests here. I'm proud to announce,
Oh, I need to read them, I think.
I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let me read them first and then, is there,
It's your first.
That's going to be my folly, right? You know how they have those.
I set you up, so don't worry about it.
okay. We have 24 agenda items that we passed. Number 1, approval of warrants. Number 2, approval of an award for Zoom renewal. Number 3, approval of an award for curriculum associates. Number 4, approval of financial institute designations. Number 5, approval of change order for comp health medical staffing. Number 6, approval of change order of deaf and hearing impaired services. Number 7, approval of change order for RKA Petroleum. Number 8, approval of change order for Clark Construction. Number 9, approval of award to Current Trucking LLC. Numbers 10 through 13, approval of human resources personnel items for P-12. Number 14, approval of a monthly statement. Number 16, approval of policy update. Number 15, approval of policy update. Number 16, approval of donations. I don't have a summary for number 17 through 24, so I'll say, number 17, approval of Executive Director of Business Services and Operations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Number 18, approval of the appointment of Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Is that correct?
Correct.
Secondary, sorry. Approval of curriculum and instruction to secondary. Number 19, approval of the appointment of Director of Curriculum and Instruction elementary. Number 20, approval of the appointment of the principal of Stout Middle School. Number 21, approval of the appointment of the principal of McDonald Elementary School. Number 22, approval of the appointment of the principal of Maples Elementary School. Number 23, approval of an extension of exempt administrators. And number 24, approval of the extension of non-classified, non-instructional staff and exempt administrative secretaries at P-12.
Okay.
Those are all the agenda items we approved.
Thank you very much. At this time, what I would like to do is introduce some of our new administrators to the community. I will just go in order based on the board agenda, and the first person I'd like to call up is our new Director of Curriculum and Instruction in Secondary, Mr. Aaron Shin. Just so the community knows, this is a position that actually we reclassified one of our director roles or supervisor roles we had here in central office to create a director of secondary curriculum with some of our vision and definitely trying to revitalize our secondary education as well as our pathways. We felt that this would meet the needs of our plan. Mr. Shin?
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. My wife and children on short notice couldn't be here, but they're going to be watching this recording and if not live. So just blessed to have this opportunity to be here and really looking forward to it. Heard a lot about Dearborn schools the last 2 years. Worked with Mike previously at some PD, and his passion and excitement, part of the reason that I wanted to be here along with the other administrators. So just very excited, and then start Monday morning. I heard 7:30, so I don't have keys yet, so I'll be here a little after that, but really blessed to have this opportunity, so thank you for supporting me in this endeavor.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Cook. Next on the list, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction in Elementary, Dr. Finney.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I would like to say, first of all, thank you all for this wonderful opportunity to serve the students and staff of Dearborn Public Schools. I am coming to you from Dearborn Heights, D7, as the former Curriculum and Instruction Director there, and I'm really looking forward to working with you all to continue to progress the district forward. So once again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay. Our brand-new principal at Stout Middle School, Mr. Proctor, could not be here tonight. He is on a trip with his family, but hopefully we'll get him here in our next August meeting. Next, we have our new McDonald Elementary principal, Ms. Hanan Rida. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Evening.
First, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the Dearborn Board of Education and Superintendent Asaile and the leadership team for this incredible opportunity, and more importantly, for the trust that you have placed in me to lead McDonald Elementary. It is a responsibility I do not take lightly, and I am truly honored. I would also like to thank my family, especially my husband and our children. Over the past month, they've been incredibly supportive as I've gone through this process. They've listened to my ideas, celebrated the highs and the lows. They calmed my nerves and encouraged me every step of the way. I could not be standing here today without their love and unwavering support. I'm excited to join the McDonald's community, and I look forward to working alongside its dedicated staff and partnering with the families, and most importantly, getting to know the amazing students who walk through those doors each day. I know there's important work ahead of us, but I also know that when educators and families and students work together with a shared purpose, incredible things can happen. Together, I'm confident we will continue to build a culture of high student achievement, strong relationships, and meaningful partnerships with our families. This opportunity is especially meaningful to me because Dearborn is more than a district where I work. It's a district that shaped my life. Many years ago, I came to Dearborn as a refugee and an 8th grade newcomer student. I faced many of the same uncertainties that so many of our students experience today. But I was fortunate to have educators who believed in me and who fully encouraged me and challenged me and opened doors I never imagined possible. Today, standing here as a principal in the very district that once welcomed me as a newcomer is both humbling and deeply personal. I am a product of Dearborn Public Schools. I believe in this district because I have lived its mission, and I know firsthand the difference that caring educators can make in a child's life, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to give back to the community that gave so much to me. Thank you again for your confidence and your trust, and I look forward to serving the McDonald community and getting to know each of you and beginning this exciting new chapter together.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your story. We appreciate it. And then last, but certainly not least, we have Mr. Aaron File, who is going to be the new principal of Maples Elementary.
Why couldn't you call Maples before McDonald? But no, thank you. Hanan and I have to point out what a great person she is. We started teaching together at Woodworth on the same day. We became assistant principals at Woodworth at the same time, and I couldn't be more honored to share this opportunity with her and become principalships as well.
So in sake of transparency, I did not know that.
Okay, well now we do. I am truly honored and grateful to accept this opportunity to serve as the new principal at Maples Elementary. I want to sincerely thank the Board of Education, Superintendent Asaile, and the district leadership. It is a privilege to continue and take on this new challenge within Dearborn Public Schools and become a part of the Maples community. I also want to thank my family. My wife couldn't be here, but I could not accept this position without her and the role that she takes with her job, handling our house, my son, and all the first day of schools that I have to miss, helping other children. It's a role that they do. Some of my former students, I really appreciate them staying here in this room right now instead of going out to eat with their teammates to help celebrate this moment with me. Some of my mentors, Ms. Rima Hassan, she played a crucial role into this, and colleagues for their unwavering support throughout my journey. I would not be out here without their encouragement as it comes today. As I begin this role, I do so with excitement, humility, and a commitment to serve our students, staff, and families at Maples. I believe every child deserves a safe, welcoming environment where they are challenged, supported, and inspired to succeed. I also believe that strong relationships are the foundation of a great school, and I look forward to listening, learning, and working alongside all of them, including you guys. Maple has a strong tradition of excellence, and I'm excited to build on that foundation together. I stopped by Maples Elementary on Saturday evening after I got a haircut in Dearborn Heights, and it was exciting to see 50 to 60 students on the playground playing soccer on the pavement, and they even let me be official referee for 10 minutes before my son made us leave. But again, I look forward to the partnership of the staff, families, and communities, and ensure every student has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Thank you again for this incredible opportunity. I am honored to be here, and I can't wait to get started when I get home tonight on the first documents. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Definitely some exciting times. I'm very excited for our entire school community and our students. Thank you all very much. And I also want to thank everybody who put their name forward and interviewed one way or another. We had a group of outstanding candidates as well. Thank you.
Next item.
Next item is discussion. It's a policy update on policy number 7540.09 about artificial intelligence by Katie Hetrick.
See if Bob needs to join me. The policy committee has discussed this. I think you guys all have seen copies. I don't know if you have any additional questions. This is a new policy for the district. We haven't had one before, and I think it's probably a good time to get one in place. Any questions?
I mean, it's definitely needed, the policy. I mean, it's a common thing right now, sorry, trustee, it's a common thing right now to make sure that there's a policy and guidelines that everyone goes to. Trustee Petlicoff?
Yeah, I just, I read it, but I read it very quickly because of the timing of when it came in.
Same thing.
But I had a couple clarifications I'd like to understand. How, the way it's worded, are we secure in the fact that we have control over who uses it and how they use it in the classroom? Because a lot of it talks about, well, if teachers want to use it and kids want to use it, they go to the next highest person kind of thing. And then I'm assuming in your current role would be the technology director or whoever who has the, I mean, where does the board's ideas, where are they processed into this? How are we certain that, and is this flexible enough if something comes from Washington, D.C. or the state that asks for some kind of security or leverage or whatever with AI used in the classroom, you know? I just want to make sure that, because this is a whole brand-new policy. Usually we see a policy that's been in existence and we're just tweaking it. This is completely, you know, written out of, I don't know, did we follow somebody else's policy or use something that we know is in existence that has worked?
So to help answer some of the questions and provide further clarification, we had an AI committee that met, and what we did is we also looked at some of the policies of neighboring districts as well as Neola. And so we used the Neola policy as a basis, which many districts are currently using like that, to form the frame of this for the policy. Our AI committee that looked into this also established guidelines that we would be able to use. And since guidelines allow us a little bit more flexibility, that's where we can create a lot more of those parameters regarding safety and security for student and staff use. One of the things that we wanted to do in rolling out the AI policy was to really start small and make sure that we had good data security. So what the tools that we're looking at using would be Gemini and Notebook LM, so that we know that we have a closed system. We control our personal identifiable information and data that goes into that, and we have access to it, as opposed to an open system that can be utilized and everything like that for searches and trained.
So if, and I would hope this would never become a reality, we have a teacher who is heavily invested in using AI versus others who are more into, could this get abused somehow in a classroom setting without our being aware of it? And then, just as we had parent input with, we all remember the book band circus that occurred, are we going to be able to allow parents to have some kind of perspective of how their students are being introduced to AI in the classroom?
So one of the things that we are looking at establishing is, as we're really going slow to roll this out, is having parents be able to opt in to be able to use it or opt out like that. And so we want to make sure that parents are aware of their rights like that. If they do not want their children to be able to use AI tools, they would be able to sign a waiver on that as well too. One of the things that we do is, with the guidelines that were established, is we have different phases of how AI can be used, including not at all in the classroom. And so what I would expect to have happen right there is we kind of look at the different levels of where students are at, like our youngest learners in K, early elementary like that. They're really not going to be utilizing the AI tools like that, but we were going to see more progressive work in our middle to high schools, especially at the high school level, where we look at our cybersecurity lab being able to utilize that, but also kind of having these different age bands for that as well too.
But I still have worries that maybe some teachers will be so invested in it, their whole classroom is AI-driven as opposed to those who are more traditional. Is there a way that we can control to make sure that there's a better balance?
Absolutely. As we're looking at the guidelines that we have, part of it is having a happy medium with everything like that not every project needs to utilize AI. And with our district technology guidelines that are separate from this policy right there, we do look at how we impact the use of screen time so that screens are not used all across the board at all times for every single project that students are on.
Okay.
And just to piggyback off that, some discussions that Bob and I have been having, or Mr. Addy and I have been having regarding the TAC committee are exactly kind of what he spoke about, is what is appropriate use of technology, K-3, 3-5, middle school, and high school, which hopefully will address some of those concerns that you have as well.
So I do have a couple questions. One of them, you chose Gemini. Just so they know, I could not use ChatGPT today. So did you limit that?
One of the reasons that we were using Gemini over ChatGPT is Gemini is a closed system, and so we're able to control the data. ChatGPT helps to train the system, so it's out there. So the one thing we don't want to have is any personal identifiable information get out to the public like that, so sorry.
Which makes sense. But the question that I had is, which has to do with the privacy data and how, if someone uses Gemini, and there's financials or HIPAA type of data or anything like that, would you be notified? Is there a trigger to let you know that somebody used it for that purpose?
So what we would be able to see is only our internal uses like that. One of the things that we do have access with the Google Admin Council is we are able to, if there is something that's being used internally like that, it would only be by members of our staff that are asking questions of the AI or putting any documents in there, and we would be able to search what was put in by who.
The reason I asked that question from a privacy standpoint, you said it's a closed system. Given that it's a closed system, would anybody from Google have access to that data?
I would say the engineers would probably be able to do it, but because it's a closed system like that, we own and control the data, and they should not be looking into it, is the major part right there.
So we do have privacy when it comes to that. Would you be able to see if students are using it? How would you limit students, and would you be able to see if students are using it to do their work?
That would be the great part right there. So with our network, we have network logs, and we can see where students are able to access different sites. With the Google admin tool, we are also able to see some of their search queries on there as well too. So if they were looking up answers for specific problems, we would be able to locate that information.
Okay, so you're, Trustee Bazzi?
Now, when you say a closed system, correct me if I'm wrong here, we're talking about the information that's put into this is not put into Google's training models.
Correct.
Okay. And then is the system set up in a way where we've already predefined topics or particular prompts where it would not generate a response as to the non-enterprise version?
So one of the things that we could do is, as we look at what we have in there like that, it does respond and everything like that, but in terms of the enterprise version, like ChatGPT and everything, that's where it's being trained like this. This is gonna give you more of a structured response based on the algorithms that it has that have not been trained.
So I guess my question is though, can we come in and say, hey, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but maybe a particular topic or a way something is prompted where the non-Dearborn Schools version, somebody could ask it and it would give a response, whereas our version would not spit out a response.
So we get more of a, I don't want to say a more of a generic response and everything like that. We don't get a very specific paid response that you would get, like you're saying, from more of the enterprise versions like that.
I guess what I'm saying is, and forgive me for comparing to the enterprise version, like right now, if I just go into my personal Gemini account and I can ask it a question that maybe we in Dearborn Schools say, you know, that topic or whatever you're asking there, it's not going to generate a response because we've put those safeguards or limits in.
So we could do that. Now, there are different models right there. So like with the Notebook LM, if there is something that we put in there as a specific document that's a frame of reference, then it will refer to that document in any of the responses that we have. But not putting anything in like that, it's just gonna get the regular responses.
But I know with Notebook LM, you're giving it the data set for that, you know, almost sandboxed conversation that you're having. But with the Gemini, that's more of the open discussion that you have with Gemini. That's where my question comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there are topics or things that we know that, sensitive topics and things like that, can we limit that?
There are certain safeguards that we can put in place when we set up the system and everything like that. So a lot of our filter does eliminate some of the keywords that could go in there, so students aren't able to utilize those as well.
And so I know we're talking about using basically Google products for this Gemini Notebook LM, but I know, especially I'm thinking in the high school setting, there are tools out there that are very specialized AI tools that help churn through lots of data or process things in particular ways from a science perspective, math perspective. Are we saying that we are not going to be using those? Everything has to be Gemini? Or is there a process if there is a tool that a teacher says, hey, listen, we have large data sets that, you know, typically would take a very long time for us to get an answer to, but we can use AI to churn through that so we can critically think and get to or go through our hypotheses and look at answers?
My recommendation would be to tread very lightly, because one of the things that we don't want to do is to add on a lot and then not see the use cases like that. One of the things that happens is with some of the different AI tools, they're nice, you know, and shiny, bells and whistles and everything like that. We pay into them and we might use them once or twice and then not really maximize the value out of it like that. So as we really look at the tools, we will definitely be evaluating other tools that are out there. But again, I'd like to proceed slowly with a lot of these like that, really look at the cost-benefit analysis. Is it gonna be something that's gonna be able to be used more than once, or is it just a one-and-done kind of deal?
And so do we have on our network people, if they want to try to access some of these other tools, that they're not able to even get to those tools? If I go to chatgpt.com, does it fail?
So ChatGPT is one that we are currently blocking, but there are others that we have allowed access for staff to be able to use like that with district credentials, but we're not really endorsing those like that. So like Magic School would be another one like that. School AI and Brisk are other ones that we have piloted earlier this year like that. So we've worked on it both with the teaching staff, administrators, and my network team as well, too.
So if we're limiting to Gemini, but they have access to other tools, I mean, can you explain where we're allowing access to these other tools when the tool that we're saying that they should use is Gemini?
Part of it is we wanted to explore what are the benefits of using some of the other tools, and what we kind of saw with that is the pilot use with Brisk and School AI. While the staff liked it initially like that, it did taper off after a while, and there would be costs associated with it for the upcoming year.
Trustee Child?
Then has me wondering, we have a curriculum committee that vets the books that we put into the hands of the students for the information that is going to be used. Are we going to continue to maintain somebody in the district who's going to be vetting what's coming out of these queries as it's being used to make sure that they're legitimate and reliable resources, that information is being given to the students as they move through this?
So we have several different fronts that we'd be able to do that with. So the first one would be our District Technology Advisory Committee, which is made up of teachers and principals that would be able to look at how it's being used in the classroom.
Even a sampling on a regular basis or something, you know?
So having them being able to be really at the forefront right there with what they're seeing. The second front that we would have with that would be our network administrative team to really look at the prompt engineering that's going on behind the scenes to look at whether the input that staff and students are using like that gives us the output that we really need and everything like that. So we would kind of use a combination of both like that over time to evaluate it. And that's why, like I say, I really want to go slow in order to go fast like that.
Go ahead, Trustee Sobh.
I do appreciate the idea of going slow. At the same time, I know we have a lot of questions and AI is ever changing. But I want to reiterate and kind of reemphasize the importance of getting this policy through in general. I know we can take forever to kind of get the perfect answer. I don't think we'll get there. By the time we figure it out, the next issue is going to come up. So I really do appreciate pushing this through because I'd rather have something in place now and we can tweak as we go and we're learning together. I think there are enough safeguards in place where I feel more confident about this, much more confident than I would have not having anything at all. And then I do want to say, through the policy committee, we've looked at this and we've also looked at other AI policies around, and I think ours is a bit more extensive. And the use of the guidelines is a good strategy and a good tool to kind of help us leverage that flexibility and kind of stay ahead of the game. So I appreciate the work that the committee has done, that you guys have done. I know we'll have questions. I think we should stay on top of it, but I think we should also recognize that putting this in now is just really important, and we can't really afford to wait any longer on that. So thank you.
Thank you. Just one other question from me is, has legal counsel reviewed this? For compliance, I get it, we have the policy committee, but there's different things, students' privacy and other things that we have to make sure that it's addressed in the policy. Have we had legal look at it?
I believe because it's Neola and everything like that, we usually go with it because it's usually approved through the lawyers like that, but I can definitely run it through legal.
Neola's vetted and we feel safe with that, but given that, we can still send it to our legal just to make sure that there's nothing there that could jam us up in the future.
Yeah, because for public records, or even, I don't know if there's any limitation with regard to collective bargaining, anything of that sort. Nowadays, there's risk, and I agree with Trustee Sobh that we got to get going, but we also have to make sure that we protect ourselves, based on what's known in the industry right now. So, all right. Any other questions? No? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob and Katie.
All right, next item.
Next item is Board of
Easier
Education
said.
business, starting with Acknowledgement of Correspondence.
This is an interesting one. So we've been getting some correspondence with regard to a situation a staffing situation, without really saying which. And given that, under the advisement of our legal counsel, we're deferring going forward to replying to those communication to the superintendent and our legal counsel. I just want to make it clear for the board that that is the decision that is being made, and it just, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not able to respond to those kind of communication. So that's the only communication that we've been having. Next item. One more. Oh, sorry,
Correspondence,
go ahead.
just, we received this letter from Mr. Dennis Duggan, somebody who is an amazing person in our community, and sent us a very amazing letter as well about keeping ourselves grounded in for the pursuit of the common good. So I'd like to recognize Mr. Duggan and thank him for his letter. His words are always inspiring, so thank you.
Thank you. Any other communications? Go ahead, Trustee Czar.
I don't have any communications, but I do know that sometimes sometimes we get emails from anonymous emails. Could we not respond to those? I mean, it just seems like we all have limited time and energy.
We had a board resolution years ago
Yeah.
that we would not respond to anything that was written anonymously.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just a suggestion at this point.
no, I hear you. We normally don't, but we had a situation where anonymous emails are sent and then continuous follow-up from the same people. So it puts us in a situation where there's no harm to replying, especially since there's follow-ups. You haven't responded. We recently had that situation. I was telling Catherine, I'm also getting a lot of emails where they're anonymous and texting, so I'm not replying to those. But I think we made an exception in some situation where there's follow-ups. When I see follow-ups, that means somebody's checking up the email, they're just not putting their name. So I didn't see any harm, but I hear you.
Okay, next item is board member committee and organization reports. And we have one here from the MASB May Conference from trustees Bazzi and Sobh.
We go there.
Oh,
You guys probably
the
want to go.
podium, please.
You guys are making like a presentation?
Oh, sorry.
No.
State your name for the record.
Please no.
Okay, so May 1st and 2nd, Trustee Sobh and I went to the MASB Spring Institute. That was a mini conference with various courses that were available from MASB. We both took 5 courses together, CBA 105, Curriculum and Instruction, CBA 107, Labor Relations, CBA 108, Navigating the Legislative Process, and CBA 109, Data Informed Decision Making. Those were the capstone course, or the final courses of the 100 level courses that we needed to take. And then we also took CBA 214 about the Open Meetings Act. 105 was Curriculum and Instruction. You know, its primary parts were the driving forces in education, talking about global competitiveness, gaps, things like that. They talked about data-driven focus, looking how to look at data when we're making decisions as it relates to the curriculum and instruction, supporting instruction, and then our board's role. Everything ended with our board's role. What is our board's role with these different topics?
The next one, we took a session on labor relations where we kind of walked through and discussed the importance of collaboration, transparency, goal setting, and then different parameters to utilize as strategies when you're in negotiations. And then we also talked about what that looks like from, you know, the parties involved, and then as a board, what our duty and role is.
108 was navigating the legislative process, embracing advocacy, being active to advocate for our students, for our district, forming relationships with representatives in Lansing and local government, staying informed. There's resources from MASB, like their Action Center, various bills that are going through the process, understanding what's happening there, how it could affect districts as a whole, and specifically our district, rallying behind protecting the school aid fund so that we have adequate use for PK through 12. And then again, went through what our roles are, which kind of what I just reviewed.
The next session was on data informed decision making, and so we talked about a lot of the data that comes through the district and kind of how to help inform and shape that data, what the data points are and what the statistics actually mean and tell us, and how easy it is to obviously manipulate to any narrative that we want. So how we have to be intentional when looking for specific data points. And then our role as a board is to look at, that higher level view of the data. And the better, the district and administration does at collecting that, the easier and higher level we can look at to understand it right away instead of having to get into the nitty gritty, so.
And then finally, we took CBA 214 about the Open Meetings Act. The gentleman that went through that with us gave us a kind of a fundamental understanding of the act itself. We talked about a lot of different cases that had come up that either challenged the law and changed it or challenged the law and reinforced it. And then, always staying abreast to those things that do happen and the updates that we get from the Attorney General. With that, I think those are our final courses to get certified as MASB certified board members. Trustee Sobh is now level 1 certified. We took the same courses, but because I attended last year's conference, I had some additional education credits, so I am now level 2 certified. There are 7 individual and 7 whole board award levels that are available. Any questions?
No, but thank you for attending.
Great job. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And just so that people understand, it is part of our bylaws that when we attend any conferences of any kind, we are to come back and then report out to the full board, so that the community understands that people are not just going there and wasting time and money, that they're actually learning something and bringing it back to share with us as a full board.
So I thought they were just doing it because of being nice.
For kicks and giggles.
We'll go for the bagels.
Trustee Mazza?
Yeah, I also attended the National Conference for School Boards for Academic Excellence, and I'll prepare a presentation for our August meeting.
Thank you, Trustee Petlikov, for
Well, we
making me
made
aware,
that
'cause I
change a
didn't
long
know.
time ago.
All right. Any questions? If not, thank you so much for attending and presenting. Next item?
Well, we're still on committee reports. Are there any other committee
Oh,
reports?
yeah.
We did have policy.
Go ahead, Trustee.
We had a policy committee prior to this meeting tonight. I think we discussed the AI policy that came up for discussion today. That's going to come up in August for a vote. And then we also discussed, I know this was mentioned before, but we were still kind of reviewing. We discussed updates to our parliamentary authority bylaws, and I think we kind of came to an agreement. So I'll share those with the rest of the group. Please provide your feedback, a review. That'll be up for discussion next month. And then lastly was a new policy on micromobility. I think that was brought up in May, I want to say. I think it was circulated to the board members. I'm not sure why that fell off, so apologies, but we'll bring that back up. So this is a new policy on just micromobility rules for students on campus or in the district. That'll be up for discussion in August as well.
Could you elaborate on the procedure policy that was requested based on our legal counsel? I mean, I just clarify what you meant by what was discussed and what the next step is.
For the parliamentary authority? For any?
Yeah, what we asked for, the ask was any changes or procedural change has to go through policy and legal. Was that discussed? Was that?
Sure. That one we discussed at last month's policy meeting. We had come to a standstill and kind of went back to do some more research on the proposed changes that I brought forth. I think we got to an agreement that, for lack of better saying, I think we were in a better spot without the changes than we were with, and I think we got to take a better look at, our current other policies in tandem with Robert's Rules of Order to show us what our path should be instead of specifying it in the way that was requested. And so the way that, I guess I'll kind of explain a little further, but under Robert's Rules of Order, the chairman, is our parliamentarian who has the authority to kind of make some of the decisions that we're taking away. So we thought it wouldn't be proper to take away that authority from the chairman. Instead, we can go back and kind of dig through Robert's Rules to pick out some of the rules that we have questions on or things that we might not understand better. But to spell out and limit our rules and authority as a board and as a chairman, I think we agreed that wasn't a proper idea at the time.
So how would you handle 1,200 pages if somebody brings up procedural change based on Robert Rule that has proven not to be true? How would we handle that? Would we go and explore 1,200 pages? What do we do in that situation?
Sure. So I think generally speaking, again, as the chairman has the authority and is the parliamentarian. So some of the things, the general rule is that, we follow precedent and procedures. So whatever we've been operating by is kind of what we go by. If there's a question, even in that moment, we will continue the meeting as we should, the way we've been operating until we can figure it out. If at that point the chairman decides, or we all decide we don't have the answer, we don't know what the answer is, we don't want to dig through 1,200 pages, then as a board, the way we normally would request legal assistance or do some more research, then we can go about and do that, naturally. That's how it's kind of spelled out for us already. We don't need to limit our authority.
But there's a precedent that has been set, and we don't have legal, so are you saying we have to have legal here every meeting to allow us to, bear with me, allow us to answer questions on Robert's Rules when it's brought up or introduced, and we have no way of knowing what's right? And like I said, there's a precedent that something was introduced that was incorrect. So
Was not incorrect.
it was incorrect. I mean, we had legal, come on. Let's not rehash, use a 12 board, less than a 12 board, a chair could motion, and we agreed that that wasn't the case. My thing was to avoid continuously bringing things up based on our interpretation of Robert's Rule, and my recommendation was to allow policy to review it and allow legal to look into it before we implement the change based on that's outside of our normal procedure. So we're saying that we don't want to do that based on the policy committee, correct?
I'm saying I don't want to formally spell that out. That is our authority now. That is your authority as the chair now, as it is.
I didn't
So
get
whether
this.
it's spelled out anyways, even if someone raises a question or concern and we're not sure, they can say whatever they want. As the chairman, you can decide in that moment that it is correct or not correct, or we're going to stay on course for the rest of this meeting until we figure out a solution and the real answer after. In which case, you have the power, as we all do, to reach out to legal or to do our research, which is what you're requesting anyways.
Outside of the meeting.
Yes, so
Okay.
we should continue that meeting, as is, and hope that we don't have any bigger issues. As the chair, you get the final parliamentary say, so.
And I appreciate it, but if somebody said, there's a hearsay, she say, like, the chair cannot motion, which I know for a fact that there's precedence where Chair Barry made a motion in January of '24, my first meeting, and I pointed that out, but the board made comments that said, we've never done that before. So that becomes questionable in that case. I'll go with what you decided, but I think that would have eliminated any discussions or debates and allow this board to continue with the back and forth and allow policy and legal to make the right decision versus, us questioning each other.
Sure.
1,200 pages of Robert Rule is a lot. And we're not going to be able to, right now, we can't even get ChatGPT here. Just can't. Okay, I just want to make clear that my ask was to avoid any discussions or people bringing up things that are not accurate because of the outcome they're looking for. So,
I understand.
thank you.
On a lighter note, I did get your Chat GPT joke. It was pretty solid.
You like that, yeah.
Do you want to say something?
Trustee Bazzi.
On the mobility policy item, we're talking about like e-bikes and things like that. I do think once we do have that set, there should be appropriate signage at different parts of the district. I'm going to give you examples. I've been at Lindbergh, I've been at Dearborn High, people coming down, they're not even e-bikes, they're, gas-powered little bikes that they're coming down on, zooming around, there's kids around. And it'd be one thing to come up to them and say, and a couple times I've had to say, you can't be doing that around here, there's a lot of little kids, and it's usually cordial. But it'd be much easier to say, there's a posted sign here that says unauthorized, vehicles or whatever it is, cannot be on the property here. So whatever that needs to be, but I think once we have that set, putting appropriate signage around would be helpful in that regard.
Agree.
And should this be coordinated with what the city of Dearborn's policies are in accordance to the police department? Because there are ordinances on those types of vehicles as well, so I would at least refer to the city ordinances regarding those vehicles as well, because, and I agree, signage is important, because we've had people where you say, no dogs, but if you didn't have a sign up there, people say, prove it. So,
Yeah. Appreciate
but
it.
we want to make sure that we are also at least mimicking some of the ordinances that the city has in place as well, about where you can use them, where you cannot use them, and have some of that backing.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I think the city is either in the current
Yeah, they are.
process of doing it? Okay, they're in the process of it. So
Yeah,
we
they
can
don't have
keep an eye out
anything.
And kind of look at, not yet, right? But
Yeah.
something is in the works, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where the city of Dearborn is, but I believe that the real premise behind this is how we use e-bikes on our own property, correct?
Right.
So that's going to be something that we definitely address. And then as far as the signage is concerned, absolutely, we'll execute that, and that's a great idea.
Either way, we'll circulate that for discussion, so you can leave comments directly in the doc if you have other ideas or questions on that.
Yeah, I don't think the city has, that I know of, because there's a lot of complaint from the public that there's
Dearborn Heights, maybe?
these
I
type
know
of.
Dearborn Heights adopted a
So
policy,
They did.
Look at
but the
Dearborn
city of
Heights.
Dearborn may
Yeah.
be working on it.
We'll have to do it with both cities too, for River Oaks and
Right.
Barrison.
Yeah, City of Dearborn Heights implemented, but the City of Dearborn, there's just, it's all over the place, especially at the park, so I'm sure they're looking at it.
Okay.
Now, I would say if we have more stringent rules, sign that says no e-bikes or whatever it is, I think, I don't know if we have to necessarily wait to see what's going on with the city. Again, I've just seen too many cases where kids are zooming by around really little kids. And, if we act faster, then we act faster.
Yeah,
I agree.
okay. Anything else on the, go ahead, Trustee Bazzi.
We haven't had a committee yet, but I know that we had received an email from Superintendent Saley about Plant Moran wanting to do a pre-audit, having a pre-audit discussion. They asked me with the treasurer. I know typically we meet as a finance committee with them.
Well, and we had a pre-audit for Henry Ford College this morning
Okay.
already, so, but Plant Moran does both, the
Okay.
P-12 and the college. So they are in their pre-audit mode right now.
That's my understanding. If they wanted to meet, we would meet as a finance committee, and I know the chair, they would meet with the chair separately. That's how we typically have done it.
Chair of the Finance Committee.
Oh, I thought you meant chair. Okay, because I know.
I think they've met with me when I chaired the finance before we met with the committee, and then we met.
Okay.
What we can do is we can push it through the finance committee, and then
Yeah.
if any other board member, I don't see why there would be an issue if any other board member wants to meet.
Well,
I think
there is a pre-audit there is an
Yeah.
audit committee for both the P-12 and for the college. They're different
There are
members.
different committees. for-
They're different because the treasurer is not allowed to be on the college one, but they are the one for the, part of the committee for.
The audit.
Even when I
P-12.
understood it as the chair meets with them and then the committee, I thought
So typically,
President.
Not in the-
typically, they've recommended that it go through the finance committee.
Committee.
But we just recommended our CFO, so we didn't know the timeline that they were in. So what we decided to do was just possibly have the treasurer and the president meet. However, what I'm hearing right now is we would rather just have it go through the finance committee,
Should be through the committee.
which we can easily
Through
do.
the audit committee.
But I would personally still like to talk to them as a board member because I have concern from the last audit. And I want to make sure personally that some things are audited. I didn't think they were audited, especially the special funding, which is 37 million. So to the detail that we want to. So I would like to personally still discuss that as a board member.
Well, you can't have more than 3.
I could be by myself. You could be with me, Mary.
Right. So I'll schedule that meeting ASAP and we'll go from there. Thank you, guys.
Any other committee discussions or anything? If not, next item.
Next item is board member and superintendent commentary.
Trustee Bazzi and then trustee Zar. I'm sorry, not trustee Mazza.
Yeah, I did
He raised his hand first.
commentary last time. I know we had a loaded meeting, but we forgot to mention graduations. And yeah, it was the best time of the year, seeing the joy of families and students alike at those graduations. I had the honor of speaking to the class of 2026 for Etzel Ford High School, and it was a great one. So thank you to all of the staff who have coordinated the graduation ceremonies. They were wonderful, and to also the staff who have broadcasted the recordings online as well. Congrats to all the students. One more thing is we're almost a week away from the August 4th primary, and I encourage all of our citizens to go out and vote. Early voting is already in session. You could vote at the Dearborn Performing Arts Center or for Performing Arts Center from 9 to 5, as well as for Dearborn Heights, I believe the Canfield Center is open for early voting as well.
Thank you, trustee Zar, and then trustee Bazzi.
Yeah, this is, again, unfortunately, I don't know why, but I continue to be subject to comments where you attribute intents to me based on, let me finish, don't interrupt me, where you attribute intents to me based on actions that and you do it in public, instead of having conversations with me. You continue to attribute intents to me based on actions I took during meetings. If you want to disagree with an action, that's fine, but I'd appreciate it if you would stop attributing or thinking that you know my intent, like you did tonight, where you said doing it because of an outcome that I wanted. In fact, if I remember correctly, the motion that you attempted to make was eventually made by somebody else, so in a proper way. So I would just appreciate if you would please stop doing that publicly during meetings. You've done it a number of times now. Also, it is your responsibility as the chair to know the rules of procedure and to know the bylaws and to rule on these things. It's a responsibility. It's not a choice. It's a responsibility of the chair to do those things. So I know Robert's rules is a lot, but it's a responsibility of the chair to know those things and to rule on those things. That's one of your duties as the chair. So please stop attributing intents to me publicly, please. I'm asking you again. I've asked many times before. I'm asking you to stop doing it again, and please undertake all your responsibilities as a chair.
So do you think I should disregard things that you've done in the past, such as, I mean, those are facts. We're not talking about intent. Those are facts. So would you rather I keep quiet?
No. I simply said, you said that I brought up that the chair cannot make motions. Based on our precedent, we were never operating under the small procedure board things under Robert's rules, like we were seconding all motions, so we were never operating under that, based on our precedent. Now, we can have a disagreement about that, that's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about attributing intent to me, which you did again tonight, and you keep doing in public, and it's insulting and it's unnecessary. That's all I'm asking. Just stop doing that. So when you throw in extra little things like, he did that because he wasn't getting the outcome he wanted. It's childish, and it's not the way we should talk to each other publicly.
I do think that there was an intent, and whether you like it or not, it's wrong to bring procedural change in the middle of the meeting because of what's going on, because of important events that's happening. To me, if you're gonna bring up something, a change, bring it to the policy and ask them to review it, ask legal to review it. But when you bring it and blindside the board or the chair, that's not appropriate as well. So I would ask you to go through the policy and to go through legal when you have a change. I know you're a lawyer, and I know you look at Robert's Rule, 1,200 pages. We did listen to you when you brought that motion, and then when legal came and said you're wrong, that was something publicly. So let's just stop doing what you're doing and be respectful of the procedure. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, again, you're doing it again.
I'm not
You're,
gonna
you're,
stop.
you're,
on her.
you're
I
lecturing,
think
doing what you're doing. I'm simply asking you, if you have a disagree
I'm
about a
telling you,
procedure,
follow the
that's fine.
process
But the
and stop
process is
doing
you're the
that.
parliamentarian. You're the one who's responsible to know these rules. We were not operating under the small board rules, that's fine. You brought in the lawyer who you called your lawyer, which was incorrect, but that's fine.
He's
You
our
brought in the
lawyer. Stop
to-
being
to-
so
to
dramatic.
To say
Stop it.
that that's a section we could operate under. And we've now addressed that in the policy committee. And I think we've made a good recommendation in the policy
I
committee how to
didn't
address
expect
that.
the change. I really didn't expect the change. That's why I was asking a lot of questions.
No, we
But-
addressed the
but
parliamentary
we
thing.
will
To say that
ask-
we're operating under the small committees, I think that, I don't know if that was fully clear in
It
trustee
is
Sobh's
clear,
report.
but
But as far as stopping a meeting when there's a disagreement about a policy, or sorry, disagreement about a procedure, to say, well, let's just stop and then go to a policy committee, that didn't seem to make much sense to us, and we discussed it at length, because we have policy, we have procedures for that already. You're the chair,
So when
you're the
there's-
chief parliamentarian.
trustees are, when there's disagreement and there's misspoken words to say that we've never done it before by other trustees, it puts what you bring in into a challenge. So we cannot, I'm asking you, you're asking me to do certain things, and I'm asking you to stop bringing things up and go through the policy and go through legal if you want to change anything. That's all I'm asking.
But
Don't-
that's what we're doing. See,
Well,
again, you're not,
you haven't done that in the past,
No,
and
no.
I'm not sure you're gonna stop doing it in the future.
there was the one meeting in May, when we were
So-
talking about we're in the board member commentary, I'm just commenting. There was one meeting in May where I brought up that the chair cannot make motions. Now, yes, Robert Rules has a cutout if you follow a bunch of conditions for small boards. We were not following those conditions. That's not the precedent that we were operating on.
So I would ask you in the future, do a little more homework, you're a lawyer, and make sure you don't bring up something that's not accurate.
No, it was not accurate, but that's a legal question.
That's a legal question.
It's a legal question. so
Do
it's-
your
I'm simply
homework.
asking you
or-
to
or
stop
maybe-
insulting me in public
It's
during
not
meetings.
insulting you.
Yes,
You're-
when
you're-
you attribute intents to people, when you say someone's doing something because they didn't get what they want, that's that's childish. That's not the way we should talk to each
I
other.
do think that you brought that up because of intent of the outcome. I still believe it, whether you disagree with me or not, or you agree with me or not.
Yeah, I'm
I
simply
still
saying
be-
it's not something we should
With
do.
So
in-
let's-
with all due respect, I am going to ask if we can just please move on right now.
Let's move on. I
Thank you.
think, I
I'm just
think
asking
people.
again that you stop doing that during public meetings. You've done it many times, and I'm just asking you to stop.
And
That's
you
all.
you need to
I think
stop.
Trustee Bazzi, did you have comments, or did you?
Go ahead, trustee Bazzi.
I just wanted to give the board an update. I know that in May, we passed a resolution in support of the Rowan Act and Senate Bill 456. I'm happy to announce that the governor signed those bills into law last week, and now we have the Amber Alert and wireless messaging capability for children and adults that are in danger. So law enforcement can issue those alerts if it's whether it's a student or whether it's outside of school. That capability now exists. And again, I thank the board for supporting that resolution. I'm very happy that that has passed and we can protect our most vulnerable citizens.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Petlicoff?
Does it become effective January 1st, or is it immediately?
So, in conversations with Representative Farhat, there is a implementation period, maybe up to 90 days. There will be law enforcement. Michigan State Police has to work on the procedure of how that works, and then working with local law enforcement. So I already I've had conversation with Chief Shaheen about it, making him aware of it. And then we will be, once that procedure is in place, it is something that I think our head of security should understand what that procedure is, if in the event that we do need to have that activated. We understand what the policy and procedure is with with Dearborn and Dearborn Heights Police.
Great job on that. Anyone else? Trustee Petlicoff?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up very briefly, because Dearborn also made the news, the schools, for a very unfortunate malicious vandalism of one of our playgrounds at Nowlin Elementary School, and it was all over the news for several days. It was quite a display of malice. I'm assuming that it was done not to target anyone in particular, but rather out of boredom and entertainment by some individuals. But the unfortunate thing is it damaged equipment that was very well utilized by children in the community, including our special needs students. I will say that the city of Dearborn has embarked upon revamping all of their playgrounds to also include special need playground equipment. So that, and we will be replacing this equipment as well at Nowlin. I saw a very nice video.
I want to make sure the community knows that, like you're saying, it is a priority.
But what I want to express is for those individuals who live around any of these recreational areas where it attracts young people who maybe have nothing better to do with their time, it's all of our responsibility to watch and report if we see something that we think, because this was, looked like it was a fairly bright daylight hour that this occurred, and nobody recognized what these two individuals were up to at the moment until it was quite a sizable fire. So we all need to be on watch. We all need to protect our community, and we all need to help people find better ways to occupy their time in this community. So it's everybody's responsibility. And the one thing that we have been talking about, which we just had a presentation about, expect respect, this is one of those times where those individuals didn't respect school property or the rest of the community's ability to enjoy our property and the taxpayer dollars and anything else you want to call it. And this is a message we've got to continue to spread throughout, and it's not just a school's responsibility, it's the city's responsibility, it's all of us.
Thank you. Trustees.
Two quick event updates. One through the city is Dearborn Summer Market at Peace Park West on August 14th. Early Learning Coalition has a booth there, and so this will be our second time at the market this summer, and the first time was great. We had students, parents of the district and out of the district come and talk to us at length, and we passed out a bunch of goodies. So come check us out if you're coming by. And then the second one, sorry to steal the Soup's thunder. He'll go into this a little more in the next meeting, I hope. But the Ed Foundation is hosting its annual golf outing, and it's on September 21st this year. And so registration is open for that. So we're pushing registration. It's for a good cause. And again, Soup will do his thing, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dearborn Homecoming is the first full weekend of August, and I believe the DFT again will have a booth handing out free books to any children, and they're for all age ranges. And stop by and visit any and all of us who will be wandering the fairgrounds. We'll be there to answer any bond questions you may have.
Yes.
Anything else from anyone? If not, I have some items under board member commentary, but they're a part of the request for information, so I'll kind of speak to them on that when we get to that. So if not, next item.
Request for information and/or future agenda items.
I do want to speak on some of the information that I requested and was provided, so I do want to thank the superintendent and the central office staff for providing. Some of the things that I asked for was EL outcome. I did ask for more additional information. Based on the outcome for 2026, we had 8,424 total students, and 717 exited, which is 8.5% that exited from the EL. The question that I asked is, I would love to see it by school, because that would give us more, a better look where we're struggling. We might have some schools doing better than others. The one other thing that I want to, I asked about the retirees, consultant, and substitute. The information was provided. I asked for additional information. Is the contract going to be renewed? If they are going to be renewed, have we looked into making sure those positions become permanent positions instead of using retirees? When I say retirees, somebody that retired from the district, left, and came back. I think one other thing we want to discourage is people, if we want somebody, if we have a need, then we hire for the need versus, consultant or advisory. The other thing that I asked for is goals, results from last year. We had a SIP committee, and we had goals. We want to see where we are with the different schools. Goals were given to each school. The one thing I want to make a comment on, I asked for STEM and early college selection process, and I saw the comments by the principals, which is a little kind of concerning, because it wasn't implemented as it was asked. They said the only thing they added was live streaming, which is a good thing. But the idea was to introduce students, us providing students with numbers that they would know, and when we do the process, the students at home would know that they were picked. So I'm not sure if that was implemented in that sense, and we could talk about it, because basically what they said, the only thing that was done was live streaming. Everything else was the same, and that wasn't the intent. The intent was, how do we make sure that there's transparency, which is the live streaming, and how do we make sure that the right kids, it's fairly picked? It's not somebody, and I'm not questioning anything, but a lot of parents have asked, how do we make sure that there's transparency? So, Mike, maybe we could talk.
I'll be more than happy to review the process, but I do know that it was live streamed this year, and we did have, I thought, some type of lottery, but I'll look into specifically where the disconnect is and how we can possibly fill that gap in.
Yeah, because I want to say some people, they asked for a certain number of people that they could selectively pick and things like that, and I'm like, it's only fair that people, I remember my granddaughter missed it by 1 point. She didn't make it. And it's fair that, if she missed it by 1 point, that's fair. But I think there was a step missed, and if we could talk about it, because that was the major step. Live streaming was to see if your number is picked,
Right.
not just to live stream for the sake of live streaming. So thank you for providing the information. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. And hopefully we'll get the additional information to you all soon as well.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Trustee Bazzi.
I know we've talked about this before, technology utilization. I think trying to formulate some sort of metric or metrics so that we can understand what that is. I know we've talked about that before, but that is something I think we need to just get our hands around, because we talk about technology and how are they using it. Some will say too much and not enough, but what are we measuring that off of without some sort of metric, and then something we can measure and hold ourselves accountable to. it just won't move along. So I think if we can figure out what those metrics are that we find are most valuable, that'd be really good.
Absolutely. Just to get clarity and understanding, are you talking about, I know we've spoken in the past about possibly our technology committee coming up with like grade bands of what's appropriate use of technology for each age or each grade, or are you talking about something else?
I'm talking
'Cause I
about,
want to make sure that I get it right.
well, I think right now when we're looking at it, I think I agree with some of the decisions that you've made so far about when, how much technology is going to be used at different grade levels
Right.
and such, but also being able to have some sort of metric. How much is it
How
being used?
effective is it, or how much?
Well, there's usage and then effectiveness.
Okay.
Right? Just being able to, I'll have parents say, oh, they're having them on the computer all day long. Like, well, no, I mean, what are we actually doing? How are we doing it? I know we do measure it and limit it by certain minutes and all that.
Got it.
If we already have that and we have those metrics and we can see, and also gives us the ability to see across grades and buildings, is there differences?
Perfect. Bob, do we have anything along those lines? Busy day for you. There we go.
I might as well just stake myself out here. At this time, we don't have any specific metrics with the number of minutes used with Chromebooks and everything. We do utilize them for some of the different subjects where we have online resources, as well as projects that teachers use with students like that. A lot of it will vary by level, as teachers don't necessarily use it a lot with the early elementary grade levels, but what we can do is definitely put together some age level bands that I can share during an upcoming meeting.
Okay. I just want to make sure, like, if we're saying we don't want utilization by certain minutes or whatever, how are we measuring that and how are we making sure that that's happening? Because I have heard sometimes we'll say, hey, we limit usage in a classroom to only 45 minutes in a week or whatever it is. How do we know that it's 45 minutes if we don't have any metrics?
Right.
We monitor.
Right. Thank you.
Anything else, any requests? I don't see any, so next item.
Future meeting dates, Monday, August 17th, 2026, P-12 Board of Education meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom. Monday, August 24th, 2026, P-12 Board of Education meeting, 7 PM at the HFC Board of Trustees meeting, 7 PM. Sorry, Monday, August 24th, P-12 Board of Education meeting, this is not. This is for the HFC meeting, sorry. Monday, August 24th, 2026, HFC Board of Trustees meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom. And Monday, September 14th, 2026, P-12 Board of Education meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom.
All right, if there are any further business, if not, then this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.